Hi there, it's Kevin with RogueDeckBuilder.com here with another Deck Tech Spotlight. We will play some gameplay with this deck on a live stream once we get our live stream connection fixed. Apparently, it is not just me, this is a known issue with YouTube. And there are just some regional people that it's not getting a good connection with YouTube on the upload end. And yeah, so anyway, when I get that fixed, we'll definitely stream this Gruesome Zombies deck. This is kind of my go-to quick deck to play. It's not the greatest deck. It is very, very fun, though. To play this deck in the solo queues, as when it goes off, it does some phenomenal things. This also makes me really, really want a Shadows of Innistrad forward format, as I think Gruesome Zombies are going to be very good if that's the case, because you get some good zombies from both Amonkhet and Shadows. I mean, really, really, really powerful zombies. And this deck is almost there. It's kind of just missing that last zombie. I would say a 2-drop zombie would be ideal. Something that did what Glowspore Shaman does, but had the zombie attached to it. So anyway, this is a deck that utilizes Gruesome Menagerie, one of my top 10 cards that I want to brew around, and it also uses Liliana Untouched by Death. So you're going to get a lot of recursion, a lot of value from creatures in your graveyard, and we're going to get creatures in the graveyard through the Stitcher Supplier, the Glowspore Shaman, and the Liliana Untouched by Death. So that's the whole idea of this deck, is just to continue to grind out your opponents, and, you know, eventually you will, well, not even that. A lot of times you can just out-aggro your opponents, because you do still have that really good zombie curve of going turn 1 Diregraf Ghoul, turn 2 Graveyard Marshal, turn 2 Death Baron or Midnight Reaper. That's a pretty decent curve when you compare it to all the rest of them in Standard at the moment. So this deck also has one of my super secret deck it was just Creeping Chill. This puts you over the top versus other aggro decks, because even if you have to cast this, a lot of times with that curve, going the 1, 2, 3, having Creeping Chill do 3 damage to the face is actually what a deck like this wants, to be able to finish off an opponent once they've clogged the ground up and you've done enough damage to them. And the other cool thing about Creeping Chill is you hardly ever have to hard cast this from your hand. You're getting Diregraf, Glowspore Shaman and Stitcher Supplier and Liliana that are all putting 3 cards in the graveyard when they either enter the battlefield or activate. And so I would say that having Creeping Chill in your hand versus casting it for free off the top of your library is more likely in the latter scenario. And there's very, very few times this gets stuck in your hand. And again, when it does, sometimes it actually is a feel-good card. It's like, oh, I needed something to hit directly to the face to that last bit of damage. So very similar to kind of how Modern Dredge works with that being able to finish the damage to the face. So the other cards, let's just go down the deck tech here. We're running a 4 of Diregraf Ghoul, a 4 of Stitcher Supplier, a 4 of Graveyard Marshal, a 4 of Glowspore Shaman, a 4 of Death Baron. Death Baron's awesome because it gives all your zombies Death Touch and +1/+1. Midnight Reaper, very, very strong in here. It's another awesome combo with Creeping Chill, because sometimes this damage does tax you, and by drawing the cards off of Midnight Reaper, but Creeping Chill allows you basically to draw an additional 3 cards at no cost, is kind of how I think of Creeping Chill. Liliana is another way to get up in the life count by when you put a zombie in your graveyard, each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. Eventually, you can use Liliana to cast zombie cards back from your graveyard. That happens all the time. In fact, that's why Law of the Giant was in here. We tried to grind out our opponent until we got to 7 lands and then cast Law of the Giant. However, that was just too cute. It doesn't work a lot. And I think you'd have to go even higher in the creature count and cut even cards like Gruesome Menagerie for that to work. Speaking of Gruesome Menagerie, this card's amazing. It puts out 6 converted mana costs for 5 mana. Oftentimes you can get back like a Stitcher Supplier, a Glowspore Shaman, and a Midnight Reaper just to continue to dig for stuff. And then, or even better, Diregraf Ghoul, a Graveyard Marshal, and the Death Baron. And you can have, that would put 7/9 power on board with 1 Gruesome Menagerie. So it's good to come back from board wipes, and it's just a very good value card. Molderhulk is insanely good in this deck. You can cast Molderhulk for 2 mana very, very often. It's got a combo with Memorial to Folly, where if Memorial to Folly is in your graveyard, you Molderhulk, get it back, and it comes into play tap. But then if they kill your Molderhulk, then you can use Memorial to Folly to return it to your hand, cast Molderhulk, get back Memorial to Folly, rinse and repeat. It's a very, very good grindy card. After that, we're just playing some basics. I'm just running a total of 20 lands, I believe, in this deck, because it is very efficient through the Glowspore Shaman, being able to put lands back on top of your library. Sideboard, I don't really play this in like constructed queues. It's just not there. We're going to run 4 Necrotic Wounds. Very good against anything you have to take care of, any creatures that have to be killed. Find Finality against the cards that go wide. A World Shaper because I do have the World Shaper Lotlet Giant combo in here. World Shaper is kind of fun because you mill a bunch of lands in your graveyard. When World Shaper dies, you get them back. This is a really cute combo. Again, it's probably not where it wants to be. And then 2 Lotlet Giants. And we have 3 Vraskas. We just Vraska.deck on the side where we can morph to. Not sure if I actually like this. I think maybe putting Deadeye Trackers is where this deck wants to be. Another 1-drop that can eat opponents' graveyards. Because other graveyard decks are kind of tough for your deck to work to. Like the Explore deck is a tough matchup. Because they just put out the Wild with Walkers, keep getting them back. And something like Deadeye Tracker I think is very good versus those decks. So anyway, like I said, there's nothing too special to this deck. Just a Zombies deck. Let's go ahead and play a match. Let's just go and bring our Gruesome Zombies, and I'll show you how it runs. So the matchups is really good against his Mono Red. Mono Red is very, very easy. Boros is pretty easy as well. Control can be tricky, and a lot of like the Arclight Phoenix decks are quite easy because you're the aggressive deck. And this is a terrible hand, but I'm going to keep it. We're going first. We have a lot of ways to draw out of this. We have the Gruesome Menagerie. If we draw into like a Glowspore Shaman or a Stitcher Supplier on turn 2, that's not a bad hand at this point with double Liliana. We're there with the lands for Liliana and Death Baron. Well, I mean, odds are that we're going to draw one for Liliana. And if we're not drawing one, we're getting cards that are going to get us closer to the Liliana. So only dead draws, I think, is Molderhulks here. We don't want to see another Liliana, Molderhulk, or Gruesome Menagerie. We probably don't want to see another 3-drop either. So again, this was on the verge of a mulligan hand or not. There is an Evolving Wilds, so we're not going to be early pressured. Evolving Wilds typically is a Jeskai control these days, but hey, I said I didn't want to draw a Molderhulk game. Why don't you listen? You never listen to me, MTG Arena. Okay, so there's our Stitcher Supplier. We're just going to go ahead. I think we spend our mana. This is most likely to get Essence Scattered, but if it does, it does. Puts a creature in our graveyard. There's the Essence Scatter, sure. Don't care. It's a card for Gruesome Menagerie. Eventually he's going to get them back. It is Jeskai. Very annoying. Why solo queue this up in... these people that solo queue Jeskai. Or Esper, excuse me. In the just for fun queue. Just drive me insane. Alright, so we did find a Creeping Chill, and unfortunately we found a land. We did find a Diregraf, though. So this is going to get some damage through. From the Creeping Chill. Our Molderhulk is getting closer to cast. It's 7 mana now, not 9. When a Stitcher Supplier dies, it will get us closer. Come on. Not only you Esper, but you're waiting for the time clock to go down. Oh, try hard. Go play in the constructed queue, please. Please. There's down to a 17 to a 23. Again, a free card off the top of our library with the Stitcher Supplier. So there's a Watery Grave. My opponent decided to shock. I don't understand why. We're going to go ahead and get in with the Stitcher. Oh, because my opponent has counter magic up. Yeah, there's pointless running out. Actually, you know what? I should have, because this is going to be a Chemist's Insight that's coming down. So I should have gone Liliana and forced it out. Yeah, that was bad. That was a bad play on me. I thought for sure that untapped blue was not for Chemist's Insight. It was for the, whatchamacallit, the counterspell. So now I kind of feel like I turned behind. Gruesome Menagerie feels weird to throw out. Well, let's do Liliana's going to get countered. But at least my opponent doesn't go Chemist's Insight again. So again, this is a pretty easy matchup if we get actually a Diregraf Ghoul turn 1. My opponent would be under so much pressure right now. Unfortunately, I think Teferi's coming out. No Teferi. So let's go again with the Stitcher. That was probably the worst play in the history of plays. Because it allows for our Molderhulk to come down. Yeah, we'd rather have Molderhulk countered than a Gruesome, right? This should get countered. There's an Essence Scatter. Alright, we know the drill. A treasure map. All right, so treasure map, I'm assuming there's some more counter magic left up. I think we have to fire off a Gruesome. It's going to get countered. My opponent has the mana up. Yep, Sinister Sabotage. And hopefully we can get our opponent out of counters. There's 3 of them gone. Treasure map is going to scry a card to the bottom. Womp womp. And we have 7 mana. So I think we're going to go Death Baron here. Hopefully my opponent counters it. My opponent's like throwing cast downs on Stitcher Suppliers, so... And we'll Liliana. This will probably be countered. So my opponent didn't care about the Death Baron. No! That actually hits. That's awesome. This is a card that can actually take over the game. Hopefully there's not a binding for it. Vraska's Contempt for it. Okay. At least we get the trigger off of it. And there's a Contempt out of the way. Does not even hit, though. Finds Woodland Cemetery Forest. Womp womp. Alright, so we are going to throw out this Midnight Reaper. See if this one gets countered. See if my opponent just cast down the Death Baron first. Murders on the Death Baron. There's the Midnight Reaper. Unfortunately, I think this game's kind of got out of our control now. We, like I said, we needed that early, like, 1-drop, 2-drop to pressure this deck. This is one of my favorite matchups, though, because it typically is a matchup that's fairly simple. With the 1-drop, 2-drop, put my opponent under a ton of pressure, then they have to throw a board wipe, and then we Gruesome Menagerie, back everything, and then the creeping chills eventually win the game, too. So, Teferi's probably going to come down here. Price of Fame. I'm actually okay with that. So, just a kind of a budget Esper control list. We do get... This is cool because we can Molderhulk and... Unfortunately, we draw that off the top. Really? Unfortunately, we don't have the land that I want. We're going to go for a Gruesome. Hopefully it hits. It does hit. So we're going to get Midnight Reaper 100 times. The Glowspore Shaman. And Stitcher Supplier. Because we want to hit creeping. So Stitcher Supplier, you always want to activate first. Decline this. We still haven't hit our land. And we still haven't hit the other creeping. There's 2 more creeping chills in our deck. So opponent just going to board wipe here with like a Cleansing Nova. Yep. We get to draw a lot of cards though. Yeah, we'll just Stitcher first. Oh, there goes Gruesome. We needed that other Gruesome. Memorial to Folly's good. Liliana's good here. Still at 15. There is the dreaded Teferi. Did cost a card, though, with Teferi. And gets to untap 2 lands. Probably the treasure in a... Yep. So Creeping Chill, we drew the other one. We have 1 more Creeping Chill. I said we probably most likely will mill these Creeping Chills. I don't want this other... We'll go Diregraf Ghoul. No Essence Scatter. We do get Liliana. Still going to hopefully drain my opponent. So Liliana does find a Graveyard Marshal. Finds a lot of cards there. Memorial of Folly is going to come down tapped. That can get us back a Molderhulk. And we do kind of have that Molderhulk. Unfortunately, like Teferi is just it's too powerful for standard. Usually if they untap with the Teferi, it's over. It's very, very tough to come back from this. We do have 6 damage we can rely on. And we have Liliana, too, that can possibly rely on some damage here. Oh, except Binding's going to go on Liliana, I'm assuming. Yeah, Reclamation Sage, I think, is a pretty good card in the side to put, too. So, unfortunately, I think we're pretty far behind now. We can try to rely on the damage. I'm sure this is going to get countered. It is not. We need to go at our opponent because we still have another Creeping Chill in our deck. Dream Eater, huh? It's going to give us a card, though. So I'm thinking of maybe just firing off. No, I'm going to get back the... Oh, yeah, that actually throws back a card, too. So I'm not going to get any cards off of it. Off the Dream Eater. So we're going to crack Memorial. And get back Molderhulk. Cast Molderhulk. Get back Memorial. But I think we're out of Lilianas. Well, we can't even cast a Liliana anyway. Cast down on a Molderhulk. Okay, well. It's out of the way. But Teferi just continues to untap lands. It cost my opponent a draw there, too, to cast down. Way too many cards left in my opponent's hand. Stitcher's kind of weak here. We're going to Stitcher, though. Maybe it can hit my last Creeping Chill. And not draw it. It did. Woohoo. Awesome. Well, Molderhulk again. This one should get countered. No, it does not. We get back the Memorial. And we'll cast the Midnight Reaper. Chromium Immutable. So Dream Eater and Chromium, huh? Moment of Craving on a Stitcher Supplier. Yeah, that's kind of pointless now, other than I'm really... Well, that gave my opponent life back as well. Unfortunately, all of our Graveyard Marshals are gone. We have one more Gruesome Menagerie. Teferi decides to go at the face. Hostage Taker is going to take my Midnight Reaper. My opponent's deck is all over the place. I think they're just playing cards, like high-impact cards they have. I think this is trying to be an Esper control deck that's not quite finished yet. But I do not think we're going to be able to get back from this, as we're just dead next turn. Molderhulk's not going to do it. We're dead to damage. Because Teferi can tuck as well. Seven, 11. Teferi just tucks and then we die if my opponent does it correctly. Yep. So, I mean, it's all different if we would have had the one drop and pressured. Kept kind of an unknown greedy hand there with the lands. But you see how it kind of works. Let's play one more. See if we can get not a tryhard in the solo queue. Ay, ay, ay. Esper Control in the free-to-play. Oh, boy. Now it's bad enough we have people coming to FNMs acting like Pro Tours. Now we have people on Arena solo queue on the free-to-play acting like Pro Tours. Oh, boy. Magic players. All right, this is a crabby hand again. I think this is actually one you ship back because we're not casting anything, and this is bad. This is bad as well. I don't know what's up with not giving us 1s and 2-drop. We get a 2-drop this time, but no 1-drops in 3 hands. No 2-drops in 3 hands. We do want the Woodland Cemetery. Yeah, that's fine. And we'll start off with the Memorial to Folly. Like, this is a very aggressive hand now with the Graveyard Marshal. So we'll go Swamp, Graveyard Marshal, then we have the Death Baron that does come and play on tap. Unfortunately, we're going against mono green. I'm not sure how well we're going to stack up. Like, Vine Mare just absolutely destroys us. Steely Champion, not so much. We can just block. Vine Mare. Yep. Steel Leaf Champion. Stop drawing Creeping Chills. Ay, ay, ay. I think we've drawn... yeah, we've drawn over 50% of them. This can block the Steel Leaf Champion, though. We got a Pelt Collector. We don't really care. Sure. We'll make the trade. Pumps up the Collector. Whoop-de-doo. And another one coming out? A Harpooner. Okay. Don't care about that. We just need it. Drawing any... We don't have a dead draw here except for a Molderhulk. That's the only real dead draw. Yeah, that gets us closer. And no, we'll not attack in. I don't think I'll take the Harpooner hit. I'll kill a Collector. You know what? We'll let both of them die. Okay, so Gruesome Menagerie is pretty bad here, but we might just need to run it out. Puts us sort of ahead. I mean, I don't like using it just as a 2, but it's still 5 mana for 5 worth a card. Okay, so yeah, I'm glad I did that. So Stitcher Supplier's fine. It can give us some fodder for... Oh no! We hit 2 cards I don't want to hit. Opponent just scoops it up. All right, we'll play one more against these. So we have Esper Control and Mono Green, the two of my most hated archetypes that we play against. Ay, 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 people. Have a little creative bone in your body. It's the solo queue. Play janky stuff. Not turn your card sideways deck and snooze, wait until you have Teferi deck. Again, people can play what they want, but you'll understand when you play Arena, or if you start playing more competitively, or even at your local game store. Like, people, this spikes just have to play what is good. They have no other option. It's just so tedious to play against it. I almost wish there was like a bracket where people just wanted to play tier decks, and a bracket where people are like, hey, let's actually try some cards out. But again, that's why I started Rogue Deck Builder. See, Meandering River. We're in the solo queues. We're in the solo. You don't have to... Oh, we have Diregraf Ghoul ×2 here. So this should be able to pressure our opponent. And this might not be an Esper or Jeskai control. Most likely is, though. Yep. So I'm pretty sure this is... the Jeskai version of Teferi. Because Meandering River is still a card they do use because there's just not enough options. They can counter this if they want. Cost them 2 life to counter it. Syncopated it. That actually hurts more. Stop drawing the Creeping Chills. See if this one gets syncopated. Sinister Sabotage. So cool. See, the 2-drop, though, might be the difference for this game. Creeping Chills, we just need to get them down low. We need to stop drawing the damn things. I talked about how this just gets milled, so you don't really need to care. And then, what do? We draw them all. Not really any dead draws at this point. Our opponent could run like a Deafening Clarion to kill our board. Oh, okay, this is going to be the Revitalize. This might be Lich's Mastery. See if a Settle the Wreckage comes down. No, it does not. All right, Stitcher Supplier. And we milled a Gruesome. Gruesome and a Molderhulk. Okay, at least get us closer. Chemistry's Insight. Here comes Teferi. No Teferi. Okay, so Overgrown Tomb. I think we'll start running out the Creeping Chills. I'm actually okay with these getting exiled. Does not. We'll pay the 2 life. And we'll throw a Creeping Chill out. This should get countered. Yep. Means my opponent can't use the Chemist's Insight. And staring down lethal next turn. All right, we're going in. Going in with a team. Here comes the Settle the Wreckage. Justice Strike. Okay. We'll go for the win. Counter it. Oh, there's the 3rd Sinister Sabotage. Woo. Throws an island away. Any mill off a Sinister Sabotage, so the Sinister Supplier dying is good here because it can hit. This deck needs is something like a Grey Merchant of Asphodel in the next set. Something that can do damage when it comes out. An ETB effect that's better than Law of the Giant. I tried Law of the Giant, it's just too bad. It's so much to set it up. 7 mana is huge. Like, everything about the card was just overpriced. So my opponent goes to a 1, huh? So we're going to get the Gruesome Menagerie. Unfortunately, we didn't have another 2-drop out. Expansion to Explosion. All right, so this can hit. This can hit a 3 damage spell here. See if this actually finishes off the game. It does not. It finds another Molderhulk. Oh boy. So Expansion to Explosion settles at 2. Search for Azcanta. We find a Death Baron. So I'm in a Molderhulk here. And unfortunately, we don't have a... We'll just get a Swamp here. Get another Death Baron. Pretty sure the Molderhulk's going to get Justice Striked. Gotta worry about more Revitalizes. Wonder if my opponent's running Sinister Stab. I need to shut my mouth. There's a Revitalize. So the Search for Azcanta is going to flip over. Man, all of these heavy control decks just make me want to play Mill. Establish the 2-drop Mill card and then just watch them. Watch them lose. There's Teferi. Oh boy. Found the Teferi finally. We still have 2 of the damage spells. So Justice Strike on the Molderhulk. Lightning Strike on the Death Baron. Seal Away on the Molderhulk. This should establish our Liliana. Oh, didn't hit a 3 damage spell. Gonna throw away. There's Ral. Is Ral gonna kill my Diregraf? Yes, Ral is. Oh boy. We'll go another Diregraf. It gets Essence Scattered. My opponent is now out of cards, except for Teferi draws a card and so does Ral. Oy, oy, oy. So hard to get that last 3 damage. 2 revitalizes.
Hope we get something good.
Yeah, I think we've lost this now. Oh, we needed to hit 1 more of the 3 damage spells off the top. Yeah, we're definitely controlled out now. Then my opponent's used a lot of... Alright, so Liliana, no Sinister Sabotage. Come on, one time. Now I have your 4th Sinister Sabotage. No, our opponent does have the 4th Sinister Sabotage. Ugh. Why is it showing that I have a Liliana on top? Amister's Insight. My opponent's got a whopping 26 cards left in the deck. No more Sinister Sabotages. Could have Ionizes left. I'm sure there's some more expansion to Explosions, though.
Search for the unknown. That's real science.
Throws away another Teferi.
Let's skip to the good part.
Really going for the Chemist's Insight to try to find the right cards. Ionize might not be in this deck. Liliana, come on, no Ionize. Chemist's Insight again. From the hand? Disdainful Stroke. Mainboard Disdainful Stroke, huh? Wow. Okay.
No time for a break. Just want to peek. The weight is killing me.
Crackling Drake is a one of. I guess that works. There's the 1 finisher. Come on. So we need to find the 1 card off the top called the 3 damage spell and not have another Revitalize. Well, that works. It's a Glowspore. I'm sure he's going to get Essence Scattered, though. Because we haven't seen a lot of Essence Scatters. There's the Essence Scatter. There's an Opt. And there's the game with 11 cards left in the deck. Womp womp. The tryhards are out in full force in the solo queue. Anyway, that's, again, zombies kind of struggles. Like I said, we needed like another 2-drop zombie for this deck to work. However, there's a couple of things, like, could have hit another creeping. Any of those creepings would have been milled. That's 1 more card. My opponent had all 4 Cinders to sabotaged, had to YOLO for that Disdainful Stroke, found it. There are a lot of things that went right for my opponent there and went wrong for us. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. We'll continue to brew around with this deck and see where we can take it. Kevin with Rogue Deck Builder, thanks for watching.